Welcome back to another episode of Pulpit to the Pew. I am your host, Brother Sean Brumfield, and today it's just me and Brother Ryan Brown.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, man?
Hey, we're hanging in there. Getting old and fat, but, other than that, we're doing pretty good.
I'd say I've just been fat, I'm not necessarily old.
Yeah, I could also say going bald, but that's nothing new.
No, we're not going with that.
So
We're going to rebuke that in the name of Jesus. No, I was kidding.
yeah.
There's not much left to rebuke.
Yeah, I've already got the landing patch, you know what I mean? Like, I've got the landing strip. It is what it is.
Yeah. It's like going to youth camp and those guys making fun of you said you got an eye on it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your little girl said that too, didn't she?
Yeah. She tries to fix it, because I got this little patch. Now that we're doing live, it's pretty prominent. I see myself here. So this little patch right here, she'll come up and she'll start playing with it. So I told my wife, I said, if this happens more, it's gone. I'll be all forehead. I don't care.
I have seen some guys that have tried to save it and just there's nothing.
There's no saving it.
Yeah, they have like one curly here, and then it's just like lake of baldness up on top.
Yeah, there's no
surrounding.
There's no saving it. It is what it is.
I'd pray that my hair stays thick.
It runs in my family, so. And I did shave my head for the longest time, so I can go back to that if I.
When I first started coming around, you did shave it.
Yeah, I was slick.
Was it COVID that got you out of that?
Everybody else started growing beards, and I couldn't grow beards, so I just grew my hair back.
Yeah, that would make a difference, wouldn't it? I figured you were going to say, I couldn't go to the barber or something like that.
No, I did it all myself. In the shower with her.
That wouldn't have worked then.
Yeah.
With them skull shop.
Actually, no, I didn't really care for those. Slick it, man. Just take a razor, shaving cream or soap.
Dude, I would scalp myself with that.
Yeah, you kind of get used to it. Razor burn gets you every now and then, but other than that, you do pretty good.
Get some of that after shave and put it on top of the head. Yeah. It'll open up them pores really good.
Yeah.
Stops the bleeding, that's for sure.
Yeah. It does something. I found, though, that when I was slicking my hair like that, like if I didn't have any hair on my head, I hit my head more on things. It was like it was a magnet for something. I don't know. Maybe because you could see all the dents and the bumps and the cuts and everything like that. So,
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's probably just me, but it felt like that I would bump my head more when I didn't have hair than I do now.
Well, you didn't have as much cushion.
I don't have any cushion now. I'm just entertaining the idea that there's something that grows on top of my head.
I put that shoe polish.
Yeah.
Fill it in.
Yeah. That was so the first time that I ever did it, my wife, I used to buzz it growing up. That was the hairstyle. I never did like hair on my ears and all that stuff. Like it just drove me crazy. I always kept it short. And so I would buzz it. Well, then I started dating, then was my girlfriend, now wife, and she made me promise that I wouldn't ever do that again. And so I told her, okay. So the whole time that we were dating, I quit buzzing my hair. I went to just a normal, hairstyle. I changed things for her, let the
meeting in the middle.
Let the comments start now. Yeah. I changed.
I don't have a soundbite that goes, watch.
So I did it until like a month before we get married. And I didn't even tell her I was going to do it.
Oh, man.
I shaved my head and I walked into her job and but I didn't like slick it. I just buzzed it. Yeah, I just had it buzzed. It was like a one all the way around.
Yeah.
And this was when my hair still grew back. Now I buzz it and less comes back every time if I was to do it that way. But anyway, so I go in and her face just sank. She was so upset with me. And she told me, I don't want you cutting your hair again before we get married. So I went an entire month and I didn't cut my hair.
It's like the shaggy dog.
Yeah, looked like a shaggy dog. Yeah.
When COVID started, Lissa decided she was going to learn to start cutting hair. And she decided she wanted to do it the week before we got married. And I was like, okay, but I'm letting you know this. If you nick me and I can see skin, I said, I'm going to Great Clips and I'm getting it all buzzed off. She was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I was like, Yeah, I'm telling you, if you mess it up, that's what I want to do. So she went road by road, just like as slow as she could, because she did not want to see me with a busted butt. I did that. I buzzed my hair mostly because that's the haircut my mom knew how to give, was a buzz cut. Yeah. So up until high school, and then I found out that hair was more liked on young guys that attracted the other, the other group, and so I decided to start growing my hair out after that.
It does make a difference. I had hair when my wife started talking to me, so then she seen me cut it off and she didn't like it, but I don't know why. So I started shaving it because I was losing it, and I told her, I was like, look, I'm just sick of it, and so I started buzzing it again. And when I talked to her about it, this was her statement. She said, I think you could do it. You're a little bit more heavy now than you were before.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was like, oh, you got fat, so it's okay if you don't have any hair on your head.
It doesn't work well with skinny guys.
No, that's what she said.
You instantly think of guys with like those like short jeans. Yeah, and they got those long wife beaters and like walking around.
Yeah, well that wasn't me. I mean, I didn't dress that way, but yeah,
you didn't. That wasn't your thing in high school.
No, even when I wasn't in church. I mean, I didn't get saved until I was like 14 years old. So even before that, like that was never a thought to be a style.
No. Definitely not in this area. I'm sure.
No, not in this area.
Not where you grew up now.
Not in old Waynesville. No. So I would never do that. But I always had aspirations to go in the military. Yeah. So, and I'm military rich family. So it was more like getting used to the hairstyle because
this is the way.
Yeah.
Do it this way.
Yeah, you can go up to them and say, "Yeah, I'll take it too," and they'll just right down the middle, shave it all off. You know what I mean? Like. So I was ready. I was dead set on going, and of course, life's path went a different direction. But
did you ever mess around with a mohawk?
No.
Mom and Dad never let us have one, but every once in a while, Mom would go down and just play with us and like let us have it for like 5 minutes or something. Just have this, and it was never good. It was always like from your left side of your eyebrow all the way back down to the back of the right side of your neck. So you couldn't have been cool if you tried, but we thought it was cool because we got a mohawk.
Hey, well, you could have set some new trend, man. Never even know it.
Probably could have, yeah. I was cool enough, Yeah. I'll come in church with it at the one side.
Well, I could play it off like, well, that's just the youth pastor.
Yeah.
I got a card one time that said a youth pastor has to be serious enough to be taken serious by the parents, but fun enough to be part of fun with the kids.
Yeah.
So if you came in with a crooked mohawk, I'll be like, oh, he's just trying to be cool with the kids.
Hey, that'd be one way to get the kids excited. They'd be like, yeah, can we get those? That would.
I don't know. Knowing some of our kids, they probably just stare at you.
Well, they already say that they. Well, Jacob says that he gets the brother Sean.
I know it. Yeah, you would throw him all.
Oh
off.
Man, he'd be like way left field. Be like
that would be great.
What do I tell him now?
The last time he was at the church, he said, "I got to go take a picture of Brother Sean so I could get the Sean."
Then the rest of them were like, "We got to get Brother Sean's haircut."
I asked him. I said, "Why doesn't anybody want my haircut?"
So now you got a great clip. She said, "I need to get the Brother Sean." They know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, ask for the Brother Sean.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Dude, influence. That's it.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if I'd exactly be proud of that or
not. Poor kid. He's proud of it though.
Yeah,
he got it. He got it at the church. He came like 2 days after he got the haircut, and I mean, haircut looked good. I didn't necessarily think that it looked like your haircut.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
Different head shapes, man.
Oh yeah, he's got a big head. No, I'm just kidding.
Not even Jacob. If you're listening to this,
yeah.
I think he does.
He probably does. Sorry, Jacob. Your head's not that bad. It's still big though, Jacob.
It's a little longer than yours. Yours is more round. His is a little bit more square.
I'm just fat. Like your wife said. I filled myself in very nicely.
I need a little bit more on the chin. Hey.
If I lost weight, man, I'd be like all a bunch of wrinkles and stuff.
So I got a question to ask you. What do you call a fat psychic?
I don't know.
A fortune teller. So, look, one of my students had his notebook, class book. It was in my chemistry class. And he opened it up to this certain chapter, and that was Post-it noted inside his
Oh, my
notebook.
goodness, dude. I don't know why I didn't get that, man. Like that makes
hilarious.
After you say that, it totally makes sense. But
yeah, so I told that to my daughter Kennedy, and she went.
I started counting. I was like,
I got about 3. I'm not quite there yet.
I get to thinking, I just kind of rub it, and it just goes blah, 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 blah.
Oh man, blah, blah. I've got a bad habit of doing this when my mind's on something, and Becca she'll let me have it.
Really?
Oh yeah, you're gonna stretch it out. Quit doing that. You're gonna pull it farther than it is.
I'm gonna look like a turkey when I come in here.
But yeah, no, she'll get on to me.
I never had that. Or you get the point with it.
Yeah, I don't even pull on it. She says I pull on it, but I kind of just go like this. I don't know. I think it's more like I'm rubbing when I don't shave this stuff.
Oh yeah. Last week we talked about fidget toys, but it's kind of a built-in fidget toy. We just kind of.
Oh man, the fidget toys. You know how many pin clicks I hear in a day now?
Oh, with it being school, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, probably a lot.
And I got old school desk. So when I say old school, it's not just a flat tabletop. It's the whole thing enclosed where they could put the books in it.
Yeah.
So
still casing underneath it.
Yeah. So not only do I hear the tick, 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 but then I'll hear the. Of course, it sounds different on the podcast.
Yeah.
But you hear that, tick, 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 and then they'll bang the.
That I remember the kids, they would take their pencils and they would like slide it across like this and make it sound like a drum set, which. And some of them could do it really good and made it sound really talented. Then there was that one kid just like, dude, stop. Please put that thing away. Like, I don't want to deal with that.
It's fun. Except for now when I hear a pin click, I instantly start twitching.
I got to grade that test. F. I got an F.
Tell you, okay, one of the stupidest things that's out there right now is this whole 6-7 thing.
Honestly, I don't even know what that is.
Nobody does. It quite literally means... I don't know.
That's what it means?
Yeah. The problem with the meme is it's taken off with kids, and it's supposed to mean, I think it's about this. At least that's what I'm told. If you look it up, it really has it makes no sense whatsoever. But I'll be turn your books in page number 40, and then somebody will holler out 6-7. I'm like, okay, guys, look, here's the thing. If you're going to do it, you got to do it properly.
Yeah.
That has absolutely nothing to do with what I just told you.
You got to have the right timing.
Yeah. That's what kills it.
Just throwing it out there randomly.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what it's about. I see it all the time. I mean, it's all over social media.
All I was told was this person asked a basketball star. I don't even know the name of the basketball star.
Yeah.
An actual NBA star. This person asked this NBA star their height, I think, and they responded with 6'7", like I don't really know. I think I'm kind of, and they did the whole hand motion and everything, and that's what created the meme.
It's the stupidest stuff that goes viral.
Oh, it gets even better. Now they're doing 41.
41?
Yeah.
I've not heard that one. I've not seen that one.
Oh, I'd heard it today.
I remember the Vine, and it was 21.
Yeah.
That one. I don't remember 41.
Yeah, 41. I mean, I'm back in the day when I ain't got time for that. It was still the thing to say,
Yeah.
Then you got the LeBron James.
Yeah.
What the dog doing? You get that all the time.
My favorite one was that kid, and he gets up and that person's face, he goes, "You got eczema?" You got eczema. So I'll do that to Alyssa. I'll get up right in her ear and be like, "You got eczema."
Okay, so this just goes my age. So the meme for my time frame was diabetes. You've got diabetes.
Yeah, that old man. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that commercial.
I'll do that now. If I see somebody eating sweets, you're gonna get diabetes.
Yeah, I remember being a kid when that one came out.
Yeah,
so it's his old commercials.
Yeah, he was famous for, well, I don't know, he was famous for a lot of things, I think, but Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never
Yeah.
gotta watch that.
That was CD. CD on Walker Texas Ranger? No, I mean, I didn't. I don't know how I knew that.
Oh, I don't know. I think my dad had that on his monitor once.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a monitor.
Yeah, we had a monitor.
The strangest thing.
I thought we were supposed to do schoolwork on it. Dad didn't see it that way either. You know?
No,
that was the play to get around to, wasn't it?
We don't believe in it, but we do have a monitor.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That thing's 65 inches. You kind of lose the monitor aspect at a certain time.
How much did you pay for that thing? A monitor costs way much more than the other thing.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. Dumbest show ever to watch was Walker, Texas Ranger. Or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah. I never got into that. All my cousins were into that.
They're both the same.
That's a big thing coming around right now is the Power Rangers. I guess they're
not coming around, man. They've stayed big.
Wow, it's went over my head because I was like, never was into that kind of thing. I always thought it was weird because the original ones, they were a Japanese show, and they took that, removed the voices out of it, and like got rid of all the story and everything, and retold their own story in English.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, we're nothing original anymore.
No, but it made.
I guess even back then it was like what 90s when that came out.
Yeah, right? And it made every kid in the world that watched it just knew that they could automatically start learning kung fu.
Yeah, some type of a different.
I've seen a clip of it now, and I was like, "Man, alive! I can't believe that was something that we seen as kids." I mean, heard about.
I remember going to my grandma's and like we had two sets of cousins that was always there, and I don't know, they had it on VHS, which people nowadays don't even really know what that is. I mean, that's kind of the tail end of my generation, really, I guess. Isn't that scary?
That makes me feel old. I remember 8-track tapes.
Well, I remember this just because my grandpa had an 8-track stereo system put into his house that he never got removed. But like, I had two sets of cousins that had like those tapes, and they watched it every time I went over to Grandma and Grandpa. So was like, I don't watch TV, but can we watch something else other than that? No.
So in chapel this week, the Lord was moving really strong at the school, and Brother Jeremiah, who's ministering in the chapel, he was like, these kids don't know some of these older songs that we know. They sing a lot more of the praise and worship genre, a lot more of the new age. And so a lot of the generation, and it's not that they don't know it. A lot of them could know it, but there are a group of kids that's coming up that don't know like the old hymnals or just old songs that we were raised on and stuff like that. So we're sitting there in chapel, and the Lord's really moving good. People are praying. The kids are really getting in. And he says, I wish one of our adults could play, because I would have them sing this old hymnal. And he says the old song, and I remember the song. And he said, none of these kids standing up there even knows who the singing cooks are, because that's who sang the song. And they all kind of just looked at each other like, who's that? Who's it? Like, what's the chef doing singing songs?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, I am old.
I'm trying to think, like, there's a lot of artists that even like I grew up listening to that, like, I mean, like the Gaithers are still around, but none of the new kids listen to the Gaithers. I don't even listen to the Gaithers anymore. Like they made their old stuff from like the early 2000s I still listen to, but I'm not getting their newest CD. Like I
wasn't a huge Gaither fan, and when I would say that it was their heyday.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge, I had one of their CDs, and that's what I learned to play drums to. But like when I played music, I played with the McCameys and the Singing Cooks, and, Kingsmen and stuff like that.
I'm going to tell you, what artists I learned to play bass off of? I don't even know if there's going to be a lot of people who know who this is, but Michael Combs.
Oh, yeah.
You ever watch him or listen to him?
Yeah, dude sounds like Kermit the Frog. I knew him for Not For Sale.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the song that I learned. I would put it on.
And I love that song.
Yeah, I do too.
But,
dude, have you ever, like, I've seen his stuff on YouTube. Dude, he looks like he's an alcoholic. I mean, like, straight up.
Well,
like,
the guy,
his hair, he still has an 80s haircut, like mullet slight thing that comes, and then a full beard, and he goes like this, and you can just watch his like feathery hair just like go like this, like he's just like fingertips going out. But like I remember listening to those, and like, because Not For Sale was
huge.
It was a massive song, but not just that, but it was a very slow song, and it was simple. It was so simple to play, and that's where I learned my tonality from, is being able to like, okay, this is slow enough to where I know what the possibilities are inside that song, so that I can make those changes. But yeah, and like if I say that to even to people my age, they're like, who in the world's that? Because my grandma and grandpa listened to him. Yeah. You know? But like, I mean, I seen something, he's still doing tours. I'm like,
well, I feel like he was older when he got the hit Not For Sale, which I think he put stuff out before then, but I'd never heard of the guy before Not For Sale. I feel like that's what kind of launched him.
I wouldn't say he's older. I want to say he was late 40s, early 50s.
He looked old.
Oh yeah, he looked old.
He looks like he lived a rough life.
Yeah, he's had a
no judgment, but he did look like. But I will say, I love that CD. I've listened to it since then, like not too long ago, and I'm like, how in the world could I listen to this?
Because it was the only thing we had at the time. I'm like, mom and dad, that we didn't listen to any type of contemporary. So like, Casting Crowns was like something that they were like,
Mercy Me.
No, you can't do that. You can't do none of that.
Mercy Me, and I remember listening to Mercy Me one time, and my mom was like, "Who are you listening to?" It's like, and now there's they got some of their favorite songs out, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious. I will tell you though, funny story. I grew up, I was born in the late 1900s.
Me too. Barely, but me too.
So, yeah, you're on the precipice.
Yeah.
So DC Talk was huge when I was growing up, and everybody knew their song Jesus Freak. And in reality, they were that what we're hearing today, like genre, like with Forrest Frank and stuff like that, kind of that tone, a little bit more edgier, but they were kind of that same tone.
Yeah, they paved the way for
they really did. Yeah. But back then, it was like you're getting. It was like really, you're listening to rock music. Yeah, So I got my car, and DC Talk's anniversary album come out, and it was like all their greatest hits and 2 CDs, and and it's not my CD, it's my cousin's. And so I've got that thing, and it's blaring because I can't listen to rock and roll.
Yeah,
hey man, look, I can pull off these tunes and still feel like I'm rocking the world.
He's talking about Jesus.
So I've got my car. We're parked, and I remember she had to get out, and for whatever reason, on this one particular day, I parked my car right behind her car, and so she got in my car to move it, and when she did, DC Talk I'm talking is blaring, because when you first get your license, you got all 4 windows down, you're cruising, you got the radio up, the wind blowing through. Back then I had hair, and so she don't say nothing to me. She gets in the car, she parks it, all that stuff. I get in the car a couple hours after, and that CD is in pieces in my floor. And I went in there and I was like, Mom, she's like, you're not listening to that trash. I was like, it was DC Talk. Like, it wasn't. She's like, I don't care. That was awful. You're never going to listen to that again. I said, that wasn't my CD. Well, I don't care. Whoever had it didn't need to be listening to it either.
I was thinking, I was like, growing up, Mom and Dad were tougher on us with music. And then I get old enough to start listening to my own stuff. Mm-hmm. And then my dad automatically changes. And he's like, let me show you what I was listening to in the 80s. And I was like, what? So he shows me this band called Petra.
Mm-hmm.
I've
heard of Petra.
So I'm
Petra is out there, man.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here listening to this song. I don't even remember what song it was. And I'm like, did Ozzy Osbourne get in church? Like, is this like Holy Sabbath? Like, what in the world's going on with this? Like,
Petra is out there.
Oh, dude,
I mean, it is.
It was hard rock.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was almost metal, like for gospel. And I was like, I don't think you could call it gospel. Like that just like sounds like just like inappropriate.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Yeah, and I was like, you didn't want me to listen to Carmen, but you can listen to Petra? Like, what in the world, dude?
Carmen wasn't even. Carmen just talked. The only song for Carmen that I ever listened to was Champion.
Oh, dude, that was
Champion?
the coolest. Yeah, Champion was the coolest one.
Yeah, that's the only one that I ever listened to.
That one, and he had another one that was kind of Easterish too. That, I mean, obviously I know Champion is like Easter song, but there was another song that was like that was pretty good too. And the only way I got to listen to that song is my grandma gave it to me. And my mom thought she was giving me the Crab Family Champion of Love, which is a completely different type of song.
A completely different genre of people too.
Like she's like coming up the stairs like, what in the world is this? It's like WWE in church. Like, what? Like, come on. Oh yeah. So I didn't get to listen to that CD very long.
So you say WWE. Somebody sent me a clip the other day, and I believe it was at a Baptist church. I can't remember the name of the church or whatever, but anyway, this is on Facebook. This is a clip of this dude preaching, and the preacher's down, and he's like laying on the pulpit, and he's preaching, and he's like, "You remember?" No, he's not laying down. He's like leaned up against one of the floor monitors, like kind of sprawled out, and he's preaching. Yeah. He goes, "Do you remember those old WWE or WWF wrestling matches? Hulk Hogan against the Macho Man Randy Savage," and he started going, Macho Man would punch Hulk Hogan, and he'd go down. It looked like that he was down and out, but then all of a sudden something would roll up in Hulk Hogan, and every time Macho Man would punch him, it would stir some up. Goodness. And he started likening that to us standing against the devil and the power of the Holy Ghost. I was like, okay, dude, Hulk Hogan just passed away, and I understand that a lot of people were raised with him in that time, but I don't know that I'm going to liken the help of the Holy Ghost.
I don't think I could use him as an illustration. There's just no way, dude.
He's like, it's time we start shaking at the devil. Reach down at the power within us. I was like, oh my goodness.
Point out and be like, listen to me, brother.
Yeah. So then somebody like dubbed over that at the very end, that dude that goes, let's get ready to rumble. It's like, I was like, oh, that is hilarious.
I like the videos like that, or like the ones where they make fun of like Benny Hinn.
You seen the one where they put the Jedi sword to Benny Hinn when he's hitting him with the coat?
He does that, and then there's one like where they're all like it starts out and it's like Palpatine's like big speech on like taking over the Empire, and then they got a bunch of guys on the floor like flopping like a fish, and he's going like this, guy like lightning coming from his fingertips. Like, oh my goodness, dude! Like, who in the world is thinking about this the whole time? But
I will say, whoever did the lightsaber one, that was an absolute genius, because that dude's swinging his coat, and you just hear ching, and you're just watching people fall over left and right.
And it's just later, that was a terrible impression.
Oh,
but
that is good.
The stuff people come up with because of church is just like out of this world. Like the sad thing is, they didn't even have to dub anything over that video for it to be funny.
No, I mean,
you know what I mean.
Some dude gonna hit me with his coach in church,
fall over to the side.
Yeah. No, that is funny. Did you ever see the clip of the old preacher who basically just let his church have it? Like, just flat out.
Is it the new one, or is he like an older guy?
He's an older guy. And like, basically he said, me and my wife, we could pack up our Buick and we can go to this little church down here nobody knows of, and they'll grow because I'm somebody.
Yeah.
It's where he told the sound guy or the mom, don't get on to me. You want him to make it to heaven. Don't you get on to me. And he basically is like, I'm not going to sit here and preach and let you make your own kingdom in the sound room.
That's the same one. He's like, you want me to marry you too? And you ain't even worth a penny. You don't even put anything in the offering plate. Why would I marry you?
You're the worst person here.
After he gets done berating him, he goes, you know I love you, right? You're like, okay. What in the world? So the next time you preach a hard message, at the end is like, you know, I love you, all right.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah. So I look at some of them people and I'm like, man, what in the world? Like, but people flock to those type of people though.
No. There's one recently. I can't remember his first name, but his last name's Kid. He gets up and he's like hitting them all, and he's like, I'm not going to let your children come in here and be a bunch of heathens, and your kids are like Jezebel sitting there in the back and stuff. And he calls out a kid by name. He calls his name out, and he's like, hey, I'm talking to you specifically, kid. And he's like, I'm not going to let you do that. And he says his name like 15 times. I'm like, goodness gracious, dude. That's crazy.
It's crazy. Church is like anything else. You got so many different flavors out there. So if you can't laugh about certain things, not that you're making fun of the Holy Ghost or anything like that, but some things are just laughable. They really are.
There's times that, especially when you're in like leadership in church, you just know that there's some things you cannot let people see that you're laughing at. So there's times at church I had to just like put my back to the congregation and just kind of like look up, as if it was like some like spiritual, just like look up. But really, I'm like laughing so hard because of something that like just happened.
One of the hardest things that, as far as not being able to laugh, that I was ever put through was at a church somewhere that I was going to at the time. They asked me to take up prayer requests. First time I'd ever taken up prayer requests in church. And these individuals were coming, and they were a little off. There was something different about them. And so, just leave that at what it is. They were just a little off. And so we're taking a prayer request, and it's the typical, pray for so-and-so, pray for my daughter, pray for my children to get saved, pray for this, and so on and so forth. Well, this is going to kind of date how old it is, because this is like back when Napster was huge, where you could illegally download music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that was before your time, but
I remember. I don't know if it was Napster. It was like something called Hamster or something. Like it was something weird.
So this lady of this couple stands up, and just to say that they're a little off, I found out that not too long after that she ended up going to jail for beating her husband. So they're a little off. Okay, wasn't members of the church, but they had been kind of visiting at the time, and they were coming off and on. And so she gets up and she's giving a prayer request, and she starts off by saying, I want you to pray. Now, this is back in the days when George W. Bush was in office. The son was president. Okay. And this is in a church that everybody that I know of that knew how to vote or that was able to vote voted for George W. Bush. Okay. And she gets up and she says, I want you to pray for my daughter. She's going to prison for illegally downloading music. You know how much music you have to illegally download? I know it's a federal offense, but I mean, if you do it once, they're not necessarily going to because people do it all the time. And I'm not saying that it's the right thing, but she had to have been downloading a ton of music to get put
on their list,
on the federal list.
Yeah.
She's downloaded music illegally. This is in her thing. She illegally downloaded music. And it's all because of the Republicans. They're trying to take over the world. We need to pray that every Republican gets taken out of office and so on and so forth. And I'm sitting up here taking up prayer requests. I've never done it before. And I'm thinking,
what do I say?
I don't know what to do. So the pastor that I was sitting under at the time, he's half deaf. So he has no idea what she's saying. I look down at my aunt, who is leaned over on her side, tears streaming from laughing so hard. To which my sister sitting next to my aunt is pretty much leaned over on her laughing because my aunt took off laughing. And I'm looking at one of the older men because I'm trying to find guidance. At the same time, now that I see people like falling over in the floor laughing, I'm trying not to laugh. I'm looking for guidance and nobody's giving me any. I mean, I got one old dude that's like just staring in shock and awe, and you can see frustration kind of coming in his face. Pastor doesn't know what's being said. I'm trying not to laugh, and I'm trying to get through this as best as I can. People's laughing so hard. People's ready to stone her. I mean, it's like a mixed emotions of everything that's going on. So after service, I talked to one of the older brothers. His name was Brother Ralph. He's gone on with the Lord now. And I always called him Uncle Ralph because he was always with the family. And he said, hey, son. I said, yes. I said, yeah, Uncle Ralph. And he said, what did that lady say? I was like, oh. I said, well, long story short, her daughter's going to prison, and it's all the Republicans' fault. And we need to pray that the Republicans are casted out of office. And he said, I almost stood up and said, we need to pray that lady shut up. Like, I'm so glad you didn't.
Man, the stuff that happens in church that you just like, that's why I don't like running service, because I'm like, there's times I'm just like, what in the world? Where do I do with this? Where can I, like when somebody gets up and tells you their whole life story, and then you're just like, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
I don't even think, it's like, if you want to do that, talk to Jesus for a little bit. Like, don't talk to me. I just can't do it, man.
I will say, I've been in this now for a while, and ran services for a while now. Still to this day, my least favorite part of anything that I do in the ministry is running service.
Absolutely.
It really is, because I feel like that's more of preaching's a full-time job. I don't want to take it that way. But, and there's times where you've preached some pretty hard messages. You have to when you're dealing with things. It's just how God deals with you. You have to bear the burden of your heart, especially if you're pastoring. God uses you for your sheep, and it's for growth, and as long as it's done in the right way, and we're not going to get into any of that, but as long as it's done in the right way, it might be a hard message, but it's no different than if you're teaching your kids, and sometimes it's a hard lesson or it's a hard stance that you have to take. That's just how the ministry goes. One of the most stressful things ever is running service. Do we sing another song? The service, it's going good. Do we stop it? Somebody's doing, I feel like I am on a consistent basis sitting there like this, going, do I do this? Do I do that?
Yeah.
Do that? And then, you don't want to say too much.
Did they sing Sunday?
Yeah. 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 Do we have this person testify? Do we get this person to? So running service to me is one of the most stressful things.
I think the hardest part for me with running service was acknowledging you don't have to address everything it said.
No.
So like song, obviously you address in your opening and all that. But as far as like after your 3 congregationals, you don't have to get up and be like, I'm glad I'm not bound and locked up in a prison, I mean, you don't have to go along with the same context as the song. You can just be like, hey, we're taking a prayer request.
Yeah.
This and that.
You don't have to fill in a ton of space with one of my biggest pet peeves in any church service, and it has been prior to preaching, has been dead space.
Oh, dude, it's awful.
And so sometimes people feel like that because you have this space of time between things, you have to fill that in with this, that, or the other. But you really don't have to. No. You're not running a service so fast that the Lord can't move, but at the same time, you don't have to preach a sermon every time you get up to the microphone either.
I think, I like the way we run things. We don't have, obviously time slots and programs and stuff like this, but there is an order that we do things, and the people that do them enjoy them. And it's not like, there's not any space for anybody who just like wants to sing a song. They can't sing the song, I mean?
Right.
Obviously it's not open. It's not open all the time, I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's not anybody can just get in the pulpit, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's things that we do for that. But as far as like, I remember growing up, they would do testimonies right in the middle of service. Anybody want to testify? You're like, get the preacher up. Yeah. Like, my favorite, come on now.
My favorite thing with that is when they ask if anybody wants to testify, and then nobody testifies, and then so the preacher spends about 2 minutes to basically berate why we should be willing to testify, because hasn't God been good to you?
Or they ask the same person and they get the same testimony again. Or they ask some random guy who like doesn't even know how to testify, you know, or doesn't think that they have anything good to say, and you're just kind of like, oh, can we just that's I like how we leave it open at the end of the service. It's like, hey, anybody got anything to say?
To a degree, it's very quick. You know, I do like testimony service. I do feel like testimony is necessary, but I do feel like too that's another thing that, because I have seen testimony service turn into individual conversations, and it's like,
oh man,
hey, we're
or the contest of who got beat up by the devil more this week. Oh, I can't stand that. I'm just like, good Lord.
Yeah.
You're supposed to testify about the goodness of Jesus, not what the devil's done to you. So, for you note takers out there, testify about something good. Tell us something good about the Lord.
That's what testimony is about.
Or it's my miracle's better than your miracle.
Yeah. Or the overshare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The complete. There's some information.
I was in the bathroom at Target. You're like,
there's some information.
Stop right there.
That nobody but you needed to know. Keep that to yourself. You could say that God helped you in a situation. You don't have to share the details.
Yeah. I don't want to know how many laxatives you took to.
Yeah. This one time I was this pastor was teaching on wine, alcohol, strong drink. And he was taking the biblical sense that we don't partake of it.
Right.
And he went through this lesson, and when it was said and done, one of the elder gentlemen got up and because it was a Sunday school, and Sunday lessons tend to be a little bit more open platform. Right. Some more open than others. But he was talking about how his children told him that, he said, I had the diarrhea. I mean, that's how he started it off.
Oh,
right?
My goodness.
Open it up. So he had some stomach issues, and he said, and it didn't go away. So he had these said stomach issues for more than one day consecutively. And he said that his kids told him, you need to drink a glass of wine. It'll do good for your stomach, And then they threw in that scripture, a little bit of wine does good for, which that's just grape juice, guys. That's just, but anyway.
Yeah.
So he said, so finally I did. I drank it. And it must have been a big glass because of the statement that he made afterwards. And I think in a way he was trying to defend that, you can do it without it being bad.
In excess.
Yeah. Right. Which we don't stand, you don't partake just at all. Don't partake. But anyway.
Abstain.
So he was going on this little tirade about it, and he said, and it dried it right up. It made my head feel a little funny afterwards, but it dried it right up.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, so did you drink the bottle there, buddy? Or
he was in excess.
Yeah.
I think some of the craziest things is people get carried away while they're testifying, or like distracted in the middle of their testimony. Me and my brother, and I can't remember if we were with Brother Jerry Kazir or if we were with Brother Michael Nichols, but we went out visiting a church one time, and this older man got up and he started testifying. And man, he was getting into it. God help me here. God help me there. And he started walking up the aisle, and he started kicking his leg up and stuff like that. And finally, dude, he gets a hold of the pulpit like this, and he starts kicking the wall. And he goes, oh, don't mind me, church. I've been chasing this spider for about the half hour I've been testifying. You're like, oh, my goodness. What in the world happened there? Like, we really thought the Lord was working on him. But apparently, we were feeling, or we were just bad in discernment at that time. I was like 14, 15 when that happened. But, dude,
that is hilarious.
It was so funny. He just, don't mind me. You're like, golly. I don't know. It's crazy some of the stories you get out of with what testimony service is special.
Yeah.
Like, it's just mind-blowing, some of the things people say that it's like, whew.
But what's funny about it is, even through all of that, because some people that don't know church or have not been raised in it, they might hear some of these stories and be like, well, that's ignorant, or that's ridiculous. Yeah. It's like anything else in life. Some things are overabundant, some things are a little over excessive. And it's not that I necessarily agree with the statement or with what the person said, but at the end of the day, my soul is worth more than whatever that person can say. So I don't agree with it necessarily, but it's not going to make me leave.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, some of this other stuff is like, look, you see more ridiculous stuff outside of the church than what you do in the church when we talk about stuff like that. So just laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because people's people, and the best thing about people is you just don't know what they're going to do or say.
No.
For the most part.
You really have no clue as to what's, because I guess the thing is some people's perspective is very different. I mean, there's some people that in their minds they see miracles every day, whereas it's just life, you know. So some things just don't work like that. And then you got people who don't see anything. You know, there's God, that ain't working now. You know, it's like, what are you talking about, man? There's even in the smallest things, God starts working. Yeah, but I love testimony service because there's nothing more powerful to me than when somebody gets up and shares, you know, something that they went through, and it be timely in the situation of something that I'm in. Like that's just like, wow, overwhelming. For
every one person that said something that you leave out of there going, oh, I can't believe that. There's two of them that stand up that's like, wow, God did this for, you know, and we've got testimony of that in our church.
Oh yeah.
You know, a man out of his mind, lost as lost can be, and it looked like there was no hope. God gave him his right mind before he slipped into eternity while he was sitting by himself, and he got saved at the moment. And it was a true, I know salvation, and nobody was there to lead him to the Lord or nothing like that. God brought him to his right mind. And I believe, all honesty, it was answer to the prayer of this gentleman's wife. You have testimonies like that. So yeah, you got the ones that get up there and they say ridiculous things.
Oh yeah.
And you laugh about it because in all honesty, they don't compare to the ones that tell you about their healing or tell you about their family salvation or something, because I can laugh about that, but that's what helps me. That's what draws me in.
Right.
You know, it's a good mix.
Well, I think it does as much as sometimes you're kind of like, why in the world are they telling us? You're like, at the same time, you're like, I got an excellent laugh out of that. Yeah. Like it did do me good to hear it just to kind of chuckle. Yeah. It still had a good outcome, whether it was, I don't want to say foolish is the right word, but sometimes there are things
unwise.
That are,
I'll just say unwise.
Yeah. Some things that you're just kind of like,
because you never know when two people are going to get on a podcast and share it to the world.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, that's funny. When I left State Farm, they gave me a cup. I need to bring it in one day to show it. And it said, "Be careful what you say about me. I'll talk about you on my show."
Somebody bought me a "Be careful what you say. You'll end up in my sermon." From the church. So it's kind of funny now. My boy uses it every day for school. He takes his water in it to school, and the kids absolutely love it. Yeah, that's great.
He would too. He would remember. Oh yeah, he would remember every last bit of it.
For sure.
Oh, it's been good being here with you, man. Yeah. And had some good laughs here. So thanks for joining with us, guys. Hopefully you'll join us next week as with our next episode. Don't forget to look at our videos on YouTube. Send us a text, send us an email, pulpittothepew@gmail.com. And thanks for tuning in, everybody.
See ya.